Yes! 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 Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, where do I even start with this? Okay, by the way, full Pochita merch, you already know. Pochita hat, Pochita shirt, you already know how it be. But dude, okay. The Chainsaw Man movie, the Reze... Stop texting me! I swear if it does it one more time. Oh, I saw someone text me about Makima. Anyways, the Chainsaw Man Reze arc movie came out, and let's just say, like, straight up front, without the long, prolonged, answer, yes, it was actually so incredibly good. Now, before you hear just from the perspective of someone who loves Chainsaw Man and is always going to tell you that Chainsaw Man is just an amazing show, because obviously I'm extremely biased when it comes to it, I will say, it actually did incredibly well in the box office. It's like, I think, #1 in Korea, which... super awesome, cool stuff. Sony and Crunchyroll talked about how it was a massive success for them, and so far it's been doing really, really good. It's not at like the level of Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is like a whole other level. And I think it's just Chainsaw Man, though it is popular, it actually I think is significantly more niche than things like Demon Slayer or JJK. People might think I'm wrong on that, but let's just be honest here. I don't think Chainsaw Man is as popular, and I think it is popular in certain ways, but for the wrong reasons, and I think you know why. Fujimoto just knows how to make very attractive women. If you're still debating on watching the movie, watch it. What the heck are you doing? It is so incredibly good. I'm not going to go into too much regarding spoilers. I might. It was really showing how Denji is still battling the problem where everyone just wants him for his Pochita heart, because as you know, Pochita is one of the most strong and powerful demons of all time. Obviously, Pochita sacrificed himself to be a part of Denji so that he could survive, and everyone's trying to take that ability from him. Everyone's trying to use him, and in the Reze arc movie, he finally finds a woman where he thinks he's being loved for who he actually is. He's able to relate to her to a certain degree. She's always talking to him about how, he should be treated better, and, well, basically gets betrayed by her. Basically just manipulated the crap out of him like every other woman does to Denji in his life. When it came down to it, I think it had a perfect balance of romance and also just fighting. And let's just get something straight. A lot of people are complaining that, the Reze arc movie was too much of a romance movie. It was not that deep. Like, it's not like a slice of life romance, okay? The people who are saying that this is too romantic, calm down. Calm down here. It's not that deep. But there is a side of romance, because obviously Denji struggles with the fact that he can't find someone who will love him for who he is, because he's constantly just being used and has been basically living this horrible life since he's been a child. Absolutely no friends besides Pochita, and he finally thinks that he found someone who loves him for who he is and actually gives him the attention he deserves, and that kind of falls apart too. Now, when it comes to the fighting, it's Mappa. The reason why the fights were so incredibly good in this movie is because the Mappa workers were kidnapped away from their families to make these animations. I think this is by far my favorite fights in Chainsaw Man so far. Chainsaw Man Season 1 used a lot of 3D rendering, and I think sometimes that can be used in good ways. I think it was used really well in Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is really good for using 3D rendering. They do it very efficiently and very good, and it's because they have beautiful lighting. Chainsaw Man Season 1, I'd say that's one of my biggest criticisms, that I did not like a lot of the 3D rendering. It looked kind of weird. In this entire movie, it was well put together because Mappa created the movie. There's absolutely like no 3D rendering, and if there was, it's extremely minimal. The fight between Reze and Chainsaw Man is so incredibly action-packed. Sometimes I feel like there's a little too much on the screen and there's a lot going on, but those are for like very minimal moments, but you are always visually glued to the screen during these fight scenes because there's just so much going on, and the music with it is just so good. Whoever did the music for this movie did an incredibly good job. Chainsaw Man and their studio at Mappa, whatever it might be, they have been so good with making sure that they choose the best music for this franchise. Season 1 had a bunch of bangers, including the intro, obviously Kickback. The intro for this one was good. Even the sad music for Reze and Denji is played all over the internet now, and every time I hear it, I get a little bit of PTSD. Between the story, which a lot of people were worried about it being condensed into a movie, it did incredibly well. The Reze arc wasn't very long to begin with, so it made sense to make this a movie. Like I said, the animation was amazing. The visuals were all amazing. The effects, the music, everything was incredibly good. Here's the problem, is I'd noticed that a lot of people are upset about the ending. I am just going to let you know, because a lot of people have been complaining about this, saying that Chainsaw Man is messed up, it's dark, blah, blah, whatever. And by no means is it as dark as Berserk. I don't think it's nearly as dark as Berserk. I think Berserk is way darker. I'm going to let you know, as someone who has read the series all the way through part 1 and past, if you think the Reze arc was bad, this might not be your show. This might not be your show. I am just going to let you know now that things are going to get significantly, I mean like significantly, way worse. Mind you, probably by the end of the second season, about more than 95% of the cast is going to be killed. Straight up. Just straight up. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna make an entire video talking about Chainsaw Man and why people don't understand it, because a lot of people look at Chainsaw Man like it's gonna be this slice of life anime or your average shonen. Chainsaw Man represents the dark reality of the world. The dark reality that everyone is almost evil to a certain degree. Everyone has their sins. Everyone has their problems. And a lot of people, if given the opportunity, play into them. And we're all sinful human beings. As a Christian, I acknowledge I'm a horrible human being and I'm evil, even though I follow Christ and I try my best to be like him. I know I'll never be that because I am not a good person. But Chainsaw Man takes the human nature out of all of us and displays it for all of us to watch in a series. And I think they do an incredibly good job on that. And I'm going to be incredibly vague on that because I actually am going to make an entire video talking about that, because Chainsaw Man is seen as like this normal shonen, but it's not supposed to be. I'm not saying it's the darkest thing in the world, blah, blah, whatever. It's, you know, I'm just saying that compared to your average anime, this might come off as a little bit darker and really shows how evil humans can be and how and why they coexist with their sin and also demons at the same time, just like a lot of real people. There's not a lot of governments or powerful people around the world, if they knew someone had the ability the same way Denji has, that they wouldn't try to go out of their way to try to take that or kill him for it. We live in a pretty fallen, disgusting world, and so does Denji in the world of Chainsaw Man. And it's sad. It's sad to see how humans manipulate each other and treat each other, but I think Chainsaw Man does a beautiful job of really orchestrating human nature and how people sin, how that affects everybody, and it's good. Regardless, I rate this movie a 9.5 out of 10. The only reason it's not 10 out of 10 is because no one barked in the theater when Makima showed up. Only me and one other girl before the movie started barked. No one barked during the Makima scene. I'm really disappointed. Anyways, that's all I have to say. Please go watch the movie. It is incredibly good. And let me know if you want me to talk about the morality of Chainsaw Man and why maybe people are not understanding it. We will do deep dives. We have to. It will be cool. It will be cool. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys later.